The Monsters Playbook is an adventure podcast for grown-ups. It contains violence and profanity and deals with adult themes that may be uncomfortable for some listeners. Specific content warnings can be found in the episode show notes. Listener discretion is advised.
Welcome to the Monsters Playbook, an actual play monster of the week that, you know what? I did have ChatGPT write me an intro for this one. Take it away, robot. Welcome to the Monsters Playbook, your go-to for supernatural shenanigans. Join our heroes in this actual play monster of the week podcast as they face ghosts, werewolves, and more. Buckle up, it's going to be a monster of a good time. Ugh, terrible. This week on the cover story, They Have It, the second Eye of Endregoras. Technically, that should supercharge Theo power-wise, but only if it takes. Meanwhile, we are still in the Sea Kingdom, and you know that nothing lives in the sea. And you know why. Something is out there in the Dead Sea. Something that wants to make sure its order is followed.
I'm John, and I play Mark Clayton.
I'm Lauren, and I play Kira and Anna Ashwood.
I'm Miah, and I play Theo Nessos.
I'm Johnny, I play literally everybody else. Let's try not to die. So, Endregoras has said that he will try to hold off the Reaper as much as he can to give you time to do something else. What something else is there? What would you like to try to do?
Well, first of all, Theo's unconscious, right?
Yes.
Mark's carrying Theo.
So I'm thinking, well, we want to go talk to Thugamon, which he's here in the Sea Kingdom. I think Anna might honestly start flipping through her spell book to see if she could find, there was a spell similar, and I think she would ask Ramsey for help because Ramsey's there. She would ask Ramsey to be like, do you know of a spell that could give us a means of transport so we can move a little bit faster? I know there was once upon a time where Ramsey had sent like a horse, I think, to like Anna. So I think she's maybe thinking there's something like that spell, whether it's like actually making a chariot of their own or something that could help transport them a little faster.
Why don't you roll investigate a mystery?
7.
Ramsey will sort of investigatorily drop to one knee and put a hand on the ground. Well, I do know something, but bad news, it sort of costs something that we're not going to have a lot of access to around here.
Oh, what's that?
Life. Usually I just use the grass or the energy in the soil, but this is, she picks up some of the sand and lets it fall through her hands. Empty.
I think upon hearing this, Kira says, well, can you take some from me?
Bold. I think Ramsey might look at Anna like almost for permission. Like, did you hear this?
Yeah, I think Anna's kind of like, almost like, well, does it have to be? Can we maybe just like Kira? I mean, like you don't have to do this all by yourself. Like maybe I could help too, or I don't know. Can we do a little bit of each from each of us? I don't know if that's stupid, so that it's not like hurting her a lot.
Yeah, that'd work. Anybody's blood will do.
Yeah, you can take mine too then.
Ramsey will glance meaningfully and questioningly at Mark. 2 out of the 3 conscious people is offered their blood.
Okay, yeah, I'll help out.
Okay.
Okay.
Does it involve needles?
Not probably a needle.
Ramsey will reach into her vest pocket and flip out a like really thick knife and go, not needles.
Jesus. Mark closes his eyes. Tell me when it's over.
All right. Anna, roll use magic.
Anna's going to use a luck point.
Oof. Ooh, okay. Tell me what her luck special is.
It's actually good. When you spend a point of luck, you discover something happening now is related to something you've been studying. Something that may just be too much for you.
What have you been studying?
How to create your own spells. She's been researching quite a bit about there in general. I don't know how you would even describe this, but like kind of like, I guess the will that they're talking about with the kingdoms and the kings. I think a little bit like deals too, because she's been a little preoccupied with the whatever her situation is and how she's here. So kind of a combo of those things, I think.
So I think the 4 of you cut sort of on the top of your forearm because cutting on the palm of your hand is for suckers. It'll hurt and scar and make everything difficult. So you cut on sort of your forearms and a bunch of blood will flow out of you guys and into the like hard packed sand floor that there is here. And Anna and Ramsey will like carving symbols into the ground and then sort of tracing symbols in the air. and muttering various incantations and syllables. The spots where the blood was drawn will sort of like draw up, bringing a lot of the sand sort of as though it's figure raising its head, a little sphere sort of rising up in this like grayish red mass that will then sort of contract in all of these sort of fits and starts to push in on the little spherical surface of it until it sort of pounds itself into the form, basically four-wheeler ATVs.
Only 4?
Two-seaters.
Because we have... Okay, I was going to say, because we've got quite the cadre.
As I recall, it's you 4, Anna, Theo, Mark, Kira, and then just Lowry, Tommy, Donovan, and Ramsey.
Whoa, blood four-wheelers?
Yeah.
Ooh, it's my color, Kira says. No.
Actually, yeah. Can you describe these four-wheelers for a second?
Are they all just like red?
No, they look like pounded, I guess, almost sandstone. But like, I guess, when you have, goddamn, my stupid junk drawer imagination. When you get like ice cream that has caramel or chocolate sauce inside it.
Hell yeah.
And you like scrape across the top and there's like ice cream, but then there's these like stripes.
There's a core.
Of that sort of shape of red through all of these. So it looks like gray stone sort of knit with these little flows of red.
Okay, well, problem though is that Theo is still unconscious and I don't think she's going to be able to ride very easily on this thing unless we wake her up or we literally tie her to Mark.
Isn't there like...
It's Weekend at Bernie's this.
Well, some four-wheelers, they have like a kind of like a flatbed thing in the front. Or like
Want us
has
to
a
put
little...
you in the flat?
Wait, can Mark make a sling out of his like hoodie that he's wearing and just like, here, put her behind me or whatever?
Just put the hoodie over the both of you?
Yeah, basically. So she's like inside of it.
Fan artists, are you listening?
Or Donovan or Kira could fly Theo.
Donovan had another idea.
So yeah, I literally walk up to one of these. I have an idea, and here, hold on, hold her for a second, and then I think Mark hops on, and then here, put her behind me, and then so somebody puts her on, and then now take my sweatshirt and put us both in it. All right, there we go. All right, we're ready.
Mark, roll act under pressure.
I don't know how well this is going to work, Mark.
It'll be fine. Don't worry
You
about it.
cannot secure an unconscious person by wearing the same sweatshirt.
I'm wearing the person.
Believe me, officer, we were both wearing a seatbelt. She was in my sweatshirt.
I don't think you guys understand how tight Mark's sweatshirts are.
9.
Oh, I'm pleased with this. So, Mark, you're pretty sure you did okay.
Can I like inspect this?
I was gonna say roll help out.
Or roll help out maybe to be like, I want to test the strength of this actually. I don't know what I should roll, but
I'm imagining Lowry helping Mark. Like of all the people.
Anna, roll read a bad situation.
okay. I just don't want Theo like to fall off. That would be bad. Read a bad situation, that's a 10.
Uh-huh. This would last for less than half a mile.
I don't think this is gonna last very long, Mark. This is maybe get us like half a mile.
Well, maybe if you guys can like find something to maybe wake her up. I don't know.
Okay, is there something we can find that will secure her?
Donovan will sort of step forward.
Do you have a rope?
Do a little gesture to unclasp his cloak, and his wings will stretch out in both directions, red and black. I will take her.
Are you sure?
Why?
With his wings still outstretched, he'll get on one of the ATVs and get in riding position and sort of gesture behind him.
Okay, how are you gonna hold her though?
His wings.
Well, I was waiting for a response, but that's fine.
He wouldn't respond to that. The answer is obvious, boy.
Okay. Mark hops off his bike. Another time, Theo. Puts it on the back.
So Donovan's wings are going to bend backwards to envelop her like twice around in this little body-sized seatbelt thing, and then like the ends of his wings will sort of go up and kind of wrap around and tuck into his elbow.
Oh,
on each arm.
that's very painful.
He's very lithe.
Oh, I mean, he wears like a cloak all the time.
He's got rubber wings.
I do think like as this is happening, can Kira maybe like read a bad situation with what the hell's going on with Theo? Like why she's unconscious? What's happening?
You know what? Roll plus weird.
10.
She's in sort of the magical equivalent of a medically induced coma. She's currently trapped in a dream, but in the like metaphysical sense. Like this isn't her brain randomly firing signals to her unconscious mind. She's in a mental space.
Okay. Am I able to ask any questions or
Yeah, you get, what was that?
I rolled a 10.
You can ask 2 questions.
What's the best way to help Theo?
Send an envoy to that mental space and work with her.
You still have one more question, right?
Yeah. Do you have an idea?
Can Mark reach out telepathically and see if he gets a response from Theo?
Roll plus weird.
11.
Theo, wherever you are, you can hear Mark's voice.
Theo, are you okay?
Johnny, do I have any choice over like this dream that Theo's happening? Like location, environment?
You can choose the specifics, but it is bad. Actually, you know what? Why don't you roll manipulate someone on me to decide how this dream is going to go?
All right. This has been a while since we've had to manipulate you. 10.
You wake up under a sort of, well, we'll decide together what this is and why you're there. But you will indeed awake underneath the old tree on the property.
I think Theo kind of like blinks. I almost feel like she has like just this horrible headache emanating from her left side of her head. Mumbles, Mark?
Theo, you can hear me?
Kind of.
We're trying to get away right now. We've got you. Donovan's got you.
Running from what?
The Reaper's after us.
I will say, Theo, you're having like a I just got hit in the head with a brick type moment. The last time you can remember hearing anything about the Reaper was the previous time you were in there. I don't think you remember being there just yet. You don't know why.
So like I don't remember the moment we just had in there, is what you're saying?
Yeah, totally. You
Okay.
don't like you knew that was happening, but the last thing you remember is being preoccupied figuring out what to do with your dad. And Mark is telling you that thing that had some kind of connection to Deacon's tattoos is now after you, but he's not here. He's not in front of you. He's just talking to you somehow. Not unusual for Mark, but this feels different.
Are you guys okay? Where are you? How is the Reaper after you?
You're in some kind of magical coma right now.
What? That doesn't make any sense.
You took the other eye.
Wait, what?
Can I make a request that we have maybe started moving while Mark is having this internal
I'm
conversation?
assuming
Okay.
we are en route.
We're en route.
So I need to know driving arrangements.
Kira and Tommy for sure. Donovan and Theo. Who do you want to ride with you? Your brother or Ramsey, Mark?
Ramsey for shits and giggles.
Okay. Well, then Anna will ride with Lowry, and then Ramsey with Mark.
Okay. I'm putting Tommy as driving, and then Anna is driving the one with Lowry.
Sure.
Okay. Then Mark, because you're going to have to focus on this, we don't do distracted driving in this house.
Ramsey
Hi,
will
I'm
drive.
Mark Clayton.
Yeah, I kind of imagine like Kira maybe because we were all there, weren't we? Except for Ramsey, the place with the caves. I think like Donovan and Tommy both would have been. Oh, Tommy wasn't there, I don't think.
No, Tommy was not.
But so then Kira would probably be giving like Tommy directions and would maybe communicate with Donovan and be like, where we have to head back to the caves. That's where we would head off to.
So Mark and Theo, you were trying to explain things to yourselves and each other.
You took the other eye.
When did that happen?
Just a little bit ago. Do you not remember? You took the eye and collapsed.
No, we faced off against my dad and trying to repair that, and I spoke to my mom.
A lot has happened since then, Theo.
How much?
I think you'll hear a voice, Theo, from not too far away. A lot, it sounds like.
If Theo turn and look around her, do I see the source of the voice?
Mm-hmm.
What is it?
Well, she's quite a bit taller than you, and she's wearing a long cloth linen robe. And I believe, and feel free to correct me on this, she has your mother's long red hair. It's Selena.
Theo's gonna pretty much like stop responding to Mark, going speechless and like tentatively like stands up facing Selena.
Theo?
She'll clasp both hands behind her back, lean forward just a little bit, and go, I think he's talking to you.
Yeah?
Well, do you remember?
Remember what?
Look, just rest for now. We're getting to safety. We can talk about this later.
Uh-huh.
Are you okay though, right now?
Uh-huh.
She puts her hands on her hips. You used to love talking to boys.
Yeah, I'm fine, Mark.
Theo, roll manipulate someone.
8.
Mark, say whatever you were going to say, I presume.
Guys, she's responding. I think she's okay. She sounded a little uneasy though, like something was going on. I mean, clearly, but she doesn't remember anything past her dad.
Kira, I think, still had another question for her role.
Okay.
Kind of wondering, like, how can we help Theo wake up? Like, I get the sense that, like, what's happening inside of her mind is, like, something that maybe she has to, like, process. But, like, does Theo just have to go through whatever she's going through? Or is there, like, something that we're going to need to do to, like, help her come out?
The way I'm envisioning it
Yeah.
is in order for her to basically wake up and also have access to her magic, I would say, she'll have to go through this. You can also wake her up and talk to her and have access to her as a character, but she won't be all there until whatever is going on in this space works itself out.
Okay. I think then Kira would say, I don't know what exactly is happening, but from what I can tell, when she took that eye, it triggered whatever this is, and I think it's kind of her brain processing whatever this power is, and I think she needs to process it.
Well, then we need to get her somewhere safe so she can process it.
Yeah, I think I recognize that turn back there. We'll keep heading this way.
Hey, Lowry, how you doing on the four-wheeler?
I'm hanging on.
Anna, like, gooses the gas.
Hanging in there.
Who's driving? Lowry is?
Anna is.
Anna is?
I thought Lowry was driving, but I
No.
like this better.
Yeah. I'm holding on. So yeah, we're going to continue, I think, heading towards the caves to try to find Thukumon, and we'll keep a beat on Theo, I think, as we go, just to make sure she's okay.
And Kira, I'm going to have you roll Act Under Pressure.
11.
So between that roll and the number of you that there had been, you can pretty easily find your way from him to these caves. So you guys are going to pull up to those caves. I want to know kind of what your approach to the caves is.
We definitely, I think, as we're getting closer, we would maybe slow down to kind of try to scope it out. Potentially might have, like, Kira fly ahead to, like, get a good look. But yeah, the question remains to be seen, how do we actually think Thukumon will talk to us? Because he might not give a fucking shit. But I think the approach is at first to just kind of get close and then maybe have somebody do surveillance as we get close enough.
Should I try and connect with him?
I mean, once we get close, I think that's probably not a bad idea, yeah.
So Kira, if you're flying, Kira's flying ahead, roll read a bad situation.
That's also 11.
Okay, ask 3 fucking questions.
Any dangers I haven't noticed?
They don't seem to be heading in any specific direction, but there is something, there's like the occasional rumbling and like small pile of sand just sort of extends up. Something's moving underneath the sand.
Oh, great.
A number of somethings.
You got anything?
There's some stuff moving underneath the sand. I don't know what it is, but just be careful where you're walking, I guess.
Or driving.
Yeah, you guys are a ways back because Kira kind of flew ahead.
And sorry, are we stopped?
No.
No, we're still hauling at it.
It's my understanding that like you guys are just going, and also this sort of detachment scene looks dope in my mind that Kira shouts into Tommy's ear, I'm going to go fly ahead and just like spread your wings out and like catch him like a parachute and then shoot forward in front of everybody.
Okay, so second question. I'm wondering, like, what would be the best way in?
So, as you'll recall, this particular sort of cave system had like a sort of ground level entrance, and then you could like sort of climb up over some craggy hills to find a chimney-like back entrance. The front entrance is guarded. So the best way in would be to find that hole that you snuck in through last time.
Can I tell, like, how many people are here?
How would you tell that?
My eyeballs.
Well, you can see like...
Or should I ask a different question? I don't fucking know.
No, you know what? This pleases me. I want
Okay.
to, if you don't mind using your last questions for me to just literally describe what you see, because it will be interesting, I promise.
Okay, fine.
You're sort of scanning through and you're seeing these things move underneath the sand, and you can see that there is like a spiky fence that has been literally built since the last time you were here around that entrance to the cave, the front entrance to the cave. Of note, there is like the fence itself has like huge stone and wooden spikes poking off in every direction, and it goes up probably 20 feet. But there is a like person-sized 9-foot tall door in the middle of it. The other thing that you notice is that outside of this basically leading from that door, there is like roughly defined path that goes off to the right, denoted by slightly larger, more prominent rocks bordering the path that leads off into a small pit that you hadn't noticed before. That is about, it's huge. It's like, I don't know, 30 feet in sort of kidney-shaped diameter. And it's like about half full up with murky water.
In this pit, is that significant? Like, is water really like supposed to exist here?
You haven't seen it here, no.
That seems bizarre.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Do you tell anybody else this?
Yeah, I think she's like relaying this as she's going. She's like, there's this pit off to the right-hand side. There's a path that veers off. And there's water in the pit. I don't understand. That seems...
There's water?
Yeah, I've never seen that here before. I mean, where there's water, there's life. That is interesting.
Lowry, have you seen anything like this?
Lowry's not from the sea.
Oh, never mind. Redact that.
But she's right. Like, that's actually a pretty astute observation that where there's water, there's life, and where there's life, there's water, and there's not supposed to be any life here.
Can Kira, like, get a closer look at that water pit? Is that accessible?
What do you mean by a closer look?
Fly.
Like fly down?
Fly it, like, around wherever she would need to go. Like, is there a way to get, like, around and above it? Or, like, do I have to, like, go through this, like, tunnel to see this water?
No, the water is, like, outside.
Yeah, then I want to get, like, into a better vantage point to see if I can check out this water pit.
Okay, roll act under pressure.
That's a 7.
Okay, so yeah, you, like, sort of swoop down behind some craggy outcroppings and inch yourself a little closer to this, like, watery pit. What are you doing / looking for?
Signs of life.
Well, you know what? Roll really bad situation again. It's a different thing.
Also, did you want me to reach out to Thugamon?
Well, perhaps. I rolled a 13, advanced move.
Oh, hell yeah, we're gonna find life.
Mark, why don't you roll tune in? I don't ask much of you, but if at all possible, could you just find it in your heart to just real quick miss?
You'll be happy to know that I rolled a 14.
Fuck you, Jonny Grubb.
Every single time. Mark, in the name of God, ask some questions.
Oh, I have some questions. Where is Thugamon right now?
He is inside one of the chambers in this cave, which is incidentally, I will give you as a bonus with that question, where he has been for days.
What is he planning to do right now?
Despite attempted interventions, he is planning to stay precisely where he is.
And what would distract him? Or, well, I guess we're asking him a question.
I mean, it sounds like he's just hiding. I mean, Lauren, put in your 2 cents, but I feel like if you try to draw him out, like, come here, like, whatever the heck, it won't work because or I send something else. His homunculi.
What are the other questions you can ask?
I was gonna say, I mean, is there something we could ask around, like, what can we do to get him to trust us, kind of thing?
Get him to talk to us or something?
Yeah, like figure out how you can like appease him and befriend him.
How do we get Thugamon to listen to us?
The only person whose opinion he will, not just the only opinion he trusts, but the only opinion that he will even entertain is Gale.
Should I tap into Gale next?
I don't know. What does Kira see?
With a 13?
Yeah, advanced move.
What does Kira want to know?
Do I see any signs of life?
Yeah, there's some pretty fresh. It's like it's all stamped down because the route of the path to the pit is well trod, but the tracks there are very recent. Someone is with some regularity going from door to pit and back, and like going down the sort of shallow slope. There are even footprints down to the edge of the water. Am I being clear about what this sort of pit looks like? It's sort of like a half-drained pond.
Yep, that makes sense.
So someone is walking back and forth between the door and the pond pit. Ditch. Ditch is probably a better word. Words are hard.
To like take water from it?
Reasonable.
Is it just like one set of footprints?
On the path, yes, but there is another bulkier set of footprints that stick much closer to the spiked fence.
Yeah, can I tell where's the water coming from?
I mean, in the world, this would be like a rain puddle that filled up and just never got drained. It's not being fed by anything.
Just standing water.
Standing water. A reasonable conclusion that you could make is that this water was brought from somewhere else.
And actually, you could probably just see this. Is there anything in the water other than just the water being water?
I think that actually would take you somewhat by surprise, because you know what standing water is and does and usually looks like in the world. But this is like no algae's growing, no scum, no mosquitoes.
Does it look pretty clear?
Clean and unrotten, at least.
Okay. I think, Akira would reach back out to Mark and be like, I don't know if you want to try to connect with Gale, see if she's even around. If she's the only one that can get through to Thugaman, then we're going to need to get her on our side.
Yeah, I can reach out to Gale. Let me give it a shot. 6.
Oops.
Kira, you are like sort of leaning out from under this craggy outcropping and trying to squint and look at the door and the footprints and the water and trying to put some stuff together. And then you know what? Yeah, there's one of these, the spikes that are coming off of this fence are coming off in any and all angles, and the spikes themselves are like somewhere between like 2 and 5 feet long. One of the spikes on the top, an enormous fist grabs it and hoists the body that belongs to it over the fence and slamming down right on the path, actually dislodging about 4 of the marker stones, is this enormous humanoid figure that you instantly recognize as the Princeling. And it's mad.
Does he see Kira, or he just is like there at alert, or?
He's just there at alert.
Okay, and then I think in her head, Kira would be like to Mark and be like, well, whatever you just did, I think it alerted them that some things here. They seem on guard.
What?
Yep, the Princeling is at attention.
Whoa, wait, Princeling?
Yep, simulacrum that we had encountered last time.
Like a hulking homunculus.
Oh, that's what I meant to say. It was a homunculus, not a simulacrum.
Simulacrum kind of works.
Related, they're kind of similar.
So, now what?
We either just try to approach, or we reach out directly telepathically to one of them to ask if they will come out and talk with us. Are you guys almost here?
Yeah, we're almost there. As much as I hate walking up to the door, I mean, do we literally just walk up to the door?
Jonny, may Kira roll monster empathy?
Sure.
11.
Okay.
I would like to know, what does it most desire? And I'm talking specifically about Thugaman.
How to answer this. He wants the sea to go back to the way it was.
Like back to before his dad died?
Yep. What did you roll for this roll? What
11.
number? Okay. I will tell you that the form that desire is taking is extremely raw, like young and unvarnished.
What would it accept as good enough for now? And by that, I hope it to talk with us.
Gale, safe and happy. That's the thing that he wants second most.
I think I have an idea of how we can get through to him. I think we kind of have to go with the direct approach here.
So, walk right in the front door?
I'm going to call out to them. I could use your guys' backup, though.
How? Where do you need us?
They're close, right, Jonny?
You're definitely within earshot. You, at least. Oh, them. Yeah, they're approaching. I think you can almost hear the whine of their stony blood bikes.
If things go south, do you want us to cause a distraction away from you?
If you guys can get somewhere safe, because there's like kind of some rocky outcroppings, you said, Jonny, right?
Yeah.
Somewhere that they could take refuge. Because there's those sand things that I'm thinking that Kira's keeping an eye on, and she's kind of like, there's some activity over in this area. I would drive around. I think she would try to direct them to maybe somewhere safe that they could go, if that's possible.
Question.
Uh-huh.
I've been using my telepathy a lot.
You sure have.
Would I be able to tune into one of these worms? Or whatever is underneath the ground? I'm picturing it as tremors.
Actually, yes, you would be able to do that. Why don't you roll it, please?
Fucking hell. I got a
John.
6. Guys.
This isn't working.
Mark, it's not working this episode.
Okay.
Hold on, guys. I'm going to tune into one of the worms and see if I can... Hold on a minute.
So, I think because all the rest of you are on bikes, the only one who would be able to properly clock it would be Kira, that suddenly it's as though there had been really loud music playing, but you just kind of become accustomed to it. And then all at once, for just a second, the loud noise stops. And there's this conspicuous absence of sound.
I'm just picturing Dune.
And then you can see like small muffled points of light all across the horizon away from this cave begin to gradually glow and then shift. And then the noise begins again, louder. And those things that you had been keeping track of are all now 100% of them heading towards your friends. Theo, you are looking at your gently shrugging older sister. What are you doing where you are?
What are you?
I'm your sunshine, silly.
No, you're not. No, you're not.
She cocks her head at you. What a strange thing to say, says her posture.
You died. You're dead. Your ghost is gone.
Doesn't mean you stop needing me.
Can Theo, poke her shoulder?
Like to see if she's real?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it makes contact. You feel all the sensations of making contact with a physical entity.
Theo, pulls her hand back, quickly, not having expected that.
Like you thought it would be hot or something?
I thought that my hand would, pass through it, or, it would disappear. Like putting your hand in water. I don't understand. But who are you?
Could you ask a more interesting question? She says that.
What's going on?
Well, now you're seeing it.
Seeing it? So Mark was right?
You've had a tough day.
I wouldn't know. I only remember half of it.
I think she'll place a finger on her cheek underneath her right eye. Right, half of it. It's good to see you.
It's strange to see you. I've been looking for you since you died and couldn't find you. But then I found out that Father killed you and turned you into magic, ironically.
But that was just the out there me.
And this is...
I think she'll step towards you and poke her finger right in about the center of your chest. This is in here.
So you've been with me all along?
I'm with you now.
What made you show up? Wait, the eye?
I think she'll put another finger on her left cheek under her eye and go, that remains to be seen. And then she's going to turn away from the tree on the family plot towards the family mansion, which does seem taller, like you remember it from when you were a kid. She's going to look towards it. How come you never moved out?
I tried.
No.
I couldn't move out. I don't know.
There was so much that you could have left behind, but you kept coming back.
I don't know. I don't know why I didn't move out. I tried. I don't know. It's not that easy.
Why?
Well, because...
Because it's also appealing, isn't it?
No. Maybe. No. I mean, it wasn't. I mean, maybe now.
And before, and she'll sort of spin and walk away from you, but you will be pulled along with her swiftly towards and into, honestly, I think a shared bedroom with, who are the girls closest in age to you? Is it Selena?
It is Selena.
Yeah. And how much older than you is Selena?
She's 2 years older than me.
Okay. Then you're 4 and she's 6. And you're fighting over a little Lego motorcycle. And Theo lashes out with a little tiny but extremely painful bolt of lightning. And Selena gets burned. And Theo gets the motorcycle. Speaking of motorcycles, Kira, I was going to have you roll Act Under Pressure to direct your friends to somewhere that would keep them hidden.
10.
Mark and company, you are sort of driven around. Basically, if you're approaching this thing from the south, you find a sort of outcropping to the west that you swing around towards, and then the movement of these things are basically coming from the east northeast, if that helps. So if you imagine the cave at the top of the map, you guys are headed up towards it. So that's what's up. So you guys are able to sort of get there and for the time being ditch your blood bikes and then do whatever. So everybody, I need to know what everybody's doing basically.
I kind of think I want Kira to try to just call out to Thugaman, but I'm wondering, Jonny, if could I maybe tap into my not quite myself move and see if I might have Ember's assistance here?
Ooh, Ember's assistance to do what?
So what I'm imagining, I would like to almost as if her voice is like a megaphone, call out to Thugaman.
Okay. to make your voice be like a megaphone, that is the kind of thing that you would reasonably have access to with just a straight up use magic roll.
I wouldn't have to do that. Okay.
But if you want to make it dope as fuck and also risky, then you could also do this.
I'll just do this. If I need to roll it later, I'll do that later. Then that's an 11. Choose magic.
Okay.
And I think Kira calls out towards Thugaman. Thugaman, Prince of the Sea, we want to speak with you. We think we can help keep Gale safe and bring this kingdom back. If your goals match with ours, and I think they do, I suggest you come speak with us before the Reaper comes here instead.
Roll manipulate someone.
10.
So the first thing that will happen is that the princeling standing in front of that spiked fence will like spin his head and shoulders towards you, basically drop to all fours and start charging at you.
Mm-hmm.
The second thing that will happen is that you will hear a piercing whistle. Have you ever been at or near a park and some especially rowdy children are getting especially rowdy and their mother whistles for them to stop? One of those. And the princeling, as he's bounding towards you, like skids cartoonishly to a stop on his heels until he's like all but falling on you, just barely keeping himself aloft.
Mm-hmm.
But you can see that his eyebrows are raised in a submissive and expectant gesture. And he turns around behind him, and standing in the door to the fence is Gale.
Miss Friedberg, good to see you again.
Mrs., if you please. You'd better get inside.
All right. And I think Kira looks back. I do have company.
Of course you do.
Head into the cave.
You'll find our young king less than talkative. Will all of you go into the cave?
Yes, we enter the cave.
Mark, roll plus sharp.
12.
I think you more than most noticed that like there was a kind of faint tinnitus that you didn't notice until it was gone, which it was the moment you crossed the threshold into this cave. The thing that all of the rest of you will notice about this cave is that like the last time you were here, it was just a fucking cave, but it's now been almost like the vibe it kind of gives me as I look at it is like Flintstones. Someone took this cave and tried to build like a normal suburban living room inside it.
Mm-hmm.
Basically carved into the stone, there are like bookshelves on which there are little plants. There's actually a number of little plants around in here. And then there's like...
When we get in there, I mean, we just drive in on this sand or whatever, and then is there anyone in here? Or is it just...
That is a good question. Good question number one. What do you do with the blood bikes?
Can we leave them right outside of the cave?
You can.
I mean, was there enough space to just drive in?
No, not really. The fence is the big obstacle for that.
Got it. Yeah, then I guess we just leave him outside, yeah.
Okay.
Does Donovan still have Theo?
Yeah, I think at this point he doesn't have his wings wrapped around her anymore, but he is like carrying her as a sleeping kind of piggyback ride.
Well, this place looks well lived in. I think Mark is just walking around inside the cave, just kind of talking out loud.
Gale will say, the young king has done his best.
And I think at that, Mark spins around. Gale? Because we didn't see Gale when we came in, right?
Yeah, no, she came outside of the cave, like to talk with Kira, kind of.
I'm still on board with Mark being like, wait a minute, you? I know you from before.
I think Mark just spins around and pretending as though he's not snooping. Do we notice anything as we were coming in there? Was there anything that looked like was in the middle of something that was stopped or anything like that? Like, does anything seem like off, I guess? I don't know.
Did you interrupt something?
Yeah, basically. Did we interrupt something?
Oh, I see. No. So, oh, wait, no. Duh. Roll read a bad situation.
You're just going to tell me. 11.
So they've really like turned this place into like a modern Stone Age family home. The like room/chamber that you're in now is kind of equal parts like a sitting room and maybe a dining room. There's a rough hewn table. There's everything here that is built out of anything is built out of like sort of stacked stone and driftwood. It maybe had been a bench, but it's pretty clearly currently being used with some regularity as a bed. There is like a pair of thick panels of driftwood that are leaned against one of the openings that you can see are sort of sized perfectly to be wedged into the opening to form a kind of closed door. Through that appears to be Flintstone style modern Stone Age child's bedroom. And then there is another door that is closed.
In through that corridor in the children's room.
Nope. Like there's
This
one
is a separate room.
one door that leads into that children's
Oh.
room, one door that leads somewhere else. That door is shut.
Got it.
It's not just two pieces of driftwood that they lean against the opening. It's like,
Bolted.
yeah.
What kind of lock mechanism is on it?
It's honestly sort of sheets of rock and panels of wood that have been shoved into the stone of the opening.
Oh, so it's like wedged.
Yeah.
Okay.
Somebody slammed them in there.
What was the last thing Gail had said, Johnny? Something about the young prince?
Oh, the young king won't be as talkative.
Is something wrong?
She'll break eye contact and then look down at the ground for a moment and then look back up at you and go, he's been through a lot and he's doing his best.
What happened?
I think she's going to lean against the wall and maybe look at you and be like, maybe you can tell me.
Oh, is he having like memory problems? Is that what's going on here? This is like meta. Never mind.
Then I'm not going to answer it.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm wondering. I'm wondering if what Theo did is fucking with his mind.
What did Theo do?
You made him forget everything basically from the time that he was on Earth and wanting to get the heat sink and that he wanted to go back to there.
Whoops.
That's what I'm assuming is happening, but I don't know for sure. Oh, I mean, can we speak with him?
She looks at the slammed and wedged shut door. Maybe you can, but he won't speak to us.
Really? Like he's not speaking at all?
When he spirited us away to here, to there, it was hard for him. I don't think it was what he was expecting.
He was expecting probably a much different kingdom than the one that this is. I have some ideas about how we might be able to bring it back to its former glory, but I need to speak to him to put us on that path.
We'll manipulate someone.
All right. 9.
She will gesture towards the wedged shut door.
Kara will kind of look around at everybody, and I think she will push through the door.
You'd have to pound it down.
She would pound down this door then, if that's what she needs to do.
You know what? Roll kick some ass.
10.
I think what I'm going to just require with that is that like nothing mechanically will happen or go wrong and nobody will be hurt, but I will require that some other people joined in.
I would help.
Yeah, which I think namely is Mark and Tommy and to a token extent Anna. That like 1, 2, 3 and you are all slamming yourselves against this barricade and some of them are cracking and folding in, and then finally you slam inside, and it's an otherwise bare room, where the dust of the bash-in clears. There appears to be some kind of wreckage on the ground. Some of them look like little, honestly, pictures. And then in the far end of this otherwise dark chamber, the only light here is coming through the door that you walked in. Curled up against the door is the enormous hulking form of Thugaman. And you just hear him mutter, "Go away."
Oh,
buddy.
come on.
Hello, welcome to the intermission. It's just me this time, so it's going to be real quick and to the point. As usual, our next episode of the cover story will be available in 2 weeks from now on July 30th. Friendly reminder that we've added a bunch of new merch designs from some of our retired Patreon merch. At the time of recording this, there's currently a sale going on site-wide that you get 25% off apparel and accessories. So it's a great time to grab yourself some swag. If you would like to show your support for the show, leaving us a rating and review on Apple Podcast, Spotify, or whatever your listening platform of choice is helps us out, as well as telling your friends. Word of mouth is the best way for our show to get noticed. You can follow us on social media on Twitter at Monster Playbook, Facebook, Instagram, Tumblr, and Blue Sky Social at Monsters Playbook. If you're able to support us monetarily, you can do so by subscribing to our Patreon for exclusive episodes, subscriber-only merch, as well as some sweet bloopers. Or we also have the merch store, as I mentioned before, and we have a Ko-fi page as well. If you'd like to just hang out with us, you can join our Discord. These links and more can be found in our Direct Me profile in this episode's show notes. Our promo for this week is for Damsels in Distress. Great play on words. They are an award-winning queer D&D actual play podcast. Their campaign is set in Regency London with a mixture of humor and horror. The characters navigate the complicated social structure for women of 1890s England and uncover fantastical mysteries. Let's take a listen.
Come with us, dear viewers, on a journey full of horror, humor, and mystery, to the Regency village of Bledlow, where 3 young ladies are about to discover nothing is quite as they believed. You can follow along on YouTube and Twitch every other week, if they survive.
My mother likes to be sure that we are always very presentable.
In Talia, in her underwear.
If you want to talk about somebody's silly hat, I mean, Edwin's right next to you. I do miss you terribly when you go away.
I'll be home soon. I promise.
This is quite disturbing. Why would he have such unholy books?
Have you come for my power?
You can learn more about Damsels in Distress by following them on Twitter at Damsels, capital D, lowercase n, capital D, and on TikTok and Instagram at Damsels in Distress. And listen to them on your favorite listening platform. That's all the reminders that I have, so let's get back to the episode.
Theo. The bigger part was scary, I guess. I mean, obviously, but it was the little things that were exciting, right?
You're talking about, like, that magic?
I get it, you know. You're the youngest. So much feels like it's out of your control, and suddenly you get handed command over one of the primal elements of the universe. I'm not mad anymore.
You were mad at me?
I was a kid too, Theo.
You're mad at me for taking a toy?
I was mad at you for breaking the rules. We were supposed to be little kids fighting over little kid things.
You were mad at me?
I couldn't summon lightning like that until I was 15.
It's not like I could control it. It's not my fault. I mean, if I could, like, would have given it to you. Like, it didn't matter anyways.
I think you see the scenery shift. I don't know that this is fully thematically relevant, but it's the best I can come up with, and I do like it. The scenery shifts, and you are in Chicago last year trying to heal your unconscious new friend Kira. And Selena says, sometimes it matters. It's a grown-up world. Why were you in such a hurry to get there?
I guess to get some sort of freedom. To not feel all of their judgment on me. Every morning, every night, in the hallways. They were all amounting to something, and I was just the youngest.
Nope, I don't buy it. It wasn't their judgment you feared. You just wanted to be on the other side of it.
Why do you think that?
Because you keep coming back to it. The lightning, the wind, the power.
I mean, it's the only thing I can do. It's the only thing that I was remotely good at.
Good soldier.
I mean, what else was I supposed to do?
Don't ask me. According to you, I'm dead. I think we're here to figure out what you're really after.
Well, we're trying to stop the Star King and prevent the end of the world.
And then he'll be proud of you?
I don't need Father's approval anymore. I've grown past that now.
Have you grown past it? Or do you just think you have it? It's easy to stop working for something once it lands in your lap, Theora.
Well, maybe I'll make him... Okay, maybe you're right. Am I just supposed to confess all of my doubt to my dead sister?
She turns to look at you, and suddenly she is wearing glasses and dressed in a dark suit, and you are sitting in a therapist's office with her. Is that what you want to do?
No, I want to wake up and help my friends.
Then why don't you?
Because I'm here talking to you.
And why is that?
Because it's safer here.
The wall behind her begins to go dark. No, Theo. And you can see a number of glowing eyes in various colors behind her. And you can tell that One of them belongs to Deacon. One of them belongs to Nessos, the centaur. And then there's several more. And she says, no, Theo, it's not safe in here.
Like Theo like backs away. What is that?
It's you.
What do you mean? No, it's not.
Well, you're the one who's scared of them.
Everybody has something they're afraid of. That's normal.
Are you normal?
Of course I'm not normal.
She holds up her left hand and wiggles her ring finger and goes, of course not. So then what? You don't choose the rest of the world. You don't choose the family. What?
I choose myself.
And what does that mean?
That I'm safe and no one's gonna hurt me.
That sounds like family.
You know how screwed up our family is. Now more than ever. I mean, if you're truly within me, you saw the way that Jacob reacted when I hugged him. It was like I was on fire. I tried to get away from them so that I wouldn't become them. I never wanted to become them. I don't want to be like them. I don't want to be bad like them. Don't want to hurt like them.
And she turns around to look at the wall of eyes behind her. That sort of one by one will blink away, and then the wall will form back up behind her. So what are you running to? Mark, you are now looking at basically fetal position, enormous form of the Sea Prince Thugaman.
Could I walk up and use soothe?
You can. I don't think soothe is really a role. You just have to tell me what you're doing.
Oh, I'm just gonna walk up.
As long as you make soothing noises, then the person's sort of mental anguish can perhaps. No, you know what?
It says as long as they can hear your voice.
This isn't a person.
I was just gonna say it is a monster.
I am going, but he is not. I'm gonna make you roll plus charm.
I like rolling. Rolling's fun.
I like you rolling too.
Double sixes, hell yeah.
Nice.
Damn. Yeah, you walk up to him and you explain to him that things are gonna be okay. And I think the fact that he can sense that Gale is there, and something in the tinge of your voice that I think Prince recognized Prince, he like will roll over and you can tell. I meant to go back and listen to how I physically described him, but I don't know that I did physically describe him. He's kind of like a big bluish ogre, I kind of think.
Yeah, I kind of imagine him similar to like how Hestor looked, honestly.
Yeah.
Or not Hestor, Traxus. Because Traxus was also blue.
Yeah, that makes a good deal of sense. He's like hulking, huge shoulders, very tall, no hair, small horns poking out of his forehead, eyes like his cheeks are streaked with dried tear stains.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, if it's gonna be okay, then why is it all dead here?
Because there was something that killed the rest of this kingdom and made it so that no life could live here. But that doesn't mean that it has to stay that way.
Barely even bring the rain for her plants without them coming for us.
Them?
Who's them?
Killer bugs.
Those things underneath the sand? It doesn't have to be like this. We can change things. We can rebuild this kingdom.
She's right. We have the power to change all this. Bring it back to, well, not even bring it back to, put it where we want it.
You could save my father?
I don't know if he wants to save himself, to be honest. We already spoke with him. But we could rebuild this kingdom and perhaps crown a new king. We know how, in theory, how we can do that. And I think we have the power at our disposal to do something like that. But before we do that, there's a few other things that I think you could help us with. Information about how your father was defeated in the first place. How it was that he was separated from his will in this kingdom. You witnessed it, didn't you?
Yeah, I was there in the fire and the fog.
What happened?
There's so much I don't remember.
You were there. What did you see? What happened? For clarification, I'm pretty sure Theo took his memories after he left there. I just want that on record.
Well,
Yes, I did.
she did take his memories after he left there, but did she take his memories of after he left there?
So I took his memories of the treasure and before here.
Okay. Well then, Kira, I'm just going to have you roll manipulate someone.
Okay. 12. Advanced move.
So what I want him to explain to you is the following. When he saw and knew that it was all tumbling down, the only one that Endregoras made it clear to was Thugaman, and not even on purpose. He just happened to be there when Endregoras was doing what he did, which was a kind of separation ritual. Literally, that thing that you sensed several meters below him, that was his heart.
Yeah.
He transferred some part of himself into a hunk of obsidian.
Okay.
And then the way that Thugamon will explain it to you is that the only way to sever that from the kingdom was to make a knife of his mind. Like it's just this sort of extreme degree of focus. Once he had that aspect of himself, his will, placed and imprisoned into that hunk of the gate stone, then and only then was he able to, through force and blade of focus.
Okay, so let me see if I get this straight. So the Sea King separated part of himself into this hunk of obsidian, and which was essentially his will. And then the only way that it could actually properly be severed was by then using his mind.
Yeah.
Am I paraphrasing that correctly?
Yep.
A knife of his mind.
Yep. And make a knife of his mind.
So how on earth would we use that principle for the Star King? We'd have to sever his will. We'd have to have his will be separate from him, and then have his mind to cut it.
Not necessarily his mind.
Using the blade of
a mind.
A blade of a mind. Anyone's mind, or does it have to be a king's mind, or
do we know that?
Yeah, he's telling you what he knows. He knows that he did it. He knows that he did it himself, and he knows the basic principles of it. That there's a part that needs to be separated from the like quasi-physical body of the king. Can be done with gatestone, and then the severing has to occur.
Okay, so first you have to separate physically the will from the entity first, and then it can be severed, but only basically through the power of your mind.
Mm-hmm.
Or a mind. Got it. Okay. This is never going to be easy, guys.
I was going to say, do we have it?
Okay.
Okay.
If we were to return this kingdom back to its former status, what would you do?
If you brought it all back, I would make amends and continue to serve my father, as I should have done in the first place.
I don't know if he wants to be king anymore. He's quite literally lost the will to do that.
Then it really is hopeless. He's gonna roll over.
I think Kira maybe puts like a hand on his like back.
Yeah.
As like in comfort, and is like, it's not over though. As I said, I think we can rebuild a kingdom, and we could find a new king. If you want to honor the actual duty of the Sea Kingdom and what it's supposed to stand for, maybe you could take your father's place.
She's right, you know. You could.
Oh, that would be good. The deserter king.
Or the prodigal son.
I don't know what that means.
Sorry, it's a big word.
Yeah, I like how you clarify it's a big word.
Trisyllabic is a little tough for Thugamon.
Essentially, it means coming back to make amends. Be a better version of yourself. You could have a chance to do that if we brought this kingdom back. Would that be something that you would want? You have to know that the Star King, he wants to destroy all of this. We want to make sure that that can't happen. The duty of your father, of the Star King, and of the Sky King, they all seem to have forgotten that along the way. This kingdom could use somebody who could reclaim that.
We'll manipulate someone.
I rolled an 8.
Does your monster empathy work here, friend? Didn't Jonny just say that he was a monster?
Well, I have Dark Negotiator, so
yeah, that works.
that allows me to even manipulate him.
Okay.
But I do think, like, as part of what she was saying, maybe here's maybe the reason why he should listen to what the fuck I'm saying, since I rolled a mixed success.
Yep. Difficult question.
As it stands right now, nothing will live in the sea. Nothing will ever live in the sea unless we make a change. Gale, whatever future you have, even those gardens that you're trying to have, it will all die unless we can rebirth this kingdom. Start it fresh, start it anew. Otherwise, that Reaper will come. It's just a matter of time. But it doesn't have to be that way. Not if we do something about it. Not if you do something about it.
He'll, like, turn his head just a little bit over his shoulder and be like, you think I could do something?
I do. I think you could protect this kingdom, this whole place. Not just the sea, but all of there.
Could we somehow collectively, and maybe I relay this in our minds, collectively help create a vision for him just to give him hope, I guess, of himself in the future kind of thing?
Tell me everything about this. Tell me your entire plan. Paint me a picture with your beautiful, beautiful words.
Well, I don't know about beautiful, but
Here's maybe Kira's contribution to this.
Yep.
I kind of think she's imagining the power that Endregoras had described that would be needed to do this. She's thinking specifically of
I
like...
thought we did something similar to this in the past.
Well, Embers has described about how she wants to sublimate, about how her power has the capability to transform, basically. So I'm wondering if, like, in her mind's eye, she could envision, like, kind of what that would look like, tapping into that power and what, like, re-terraforming, basically. Like, that vision of what the kingdom could look like.
Kingdom could look like, and him at the helm of it.
Yeah, that's, like, kind of her mind's eye.
Yeah. I think collectively we agree upon something in our head and then try to combine our magic.
Mark, roll plus weird, and Kira roll help out.
Kira rolled a 12 advanced move.
13.
Gunga, damn. You three find yourselves in a sort of mental no-scape that starts out as the inky blackness and gray, lifeless sandstone of the floor of the Dead Sea, and then starting in between Thugamon's naked toes, this like...
Why did you describe him as naked?
You know why. There's like verdant and suddenly spreading out from that, there's like kind of algae and like kelp forests begin to bloom, and then the whole place just very quickly fills with water, raising you up like a elevator to this huge seascape that then like very nicely cascades you all to this shoreline and city and ultimately kingdom composed almost entirely of coral and shells that is this new kingdom of the sea, with the princeling as his prince and with himself as the king, and in a first for there with Gale as his queen.
Oh. Don't know how I feel about it, but okay, cute, I guess.
He walks into this sort of throne room, and there is a pair of thrones sitting at one of them, decked out in classy but very elegantly sexy queen's robes, and a very like thin, delicate tiara is Gale.
I loved about 95% of that. See, that's what you could have.
And I think Mark smiles and nods really like yes, it is.
I need both of you to roll manipulate someone.
Okay. 7.
Oh.
Okay. And Mark?
8.
I think he's literally like, well, I don't know. You didn't make it seem all that good.
What that good? The kingdom?
The fantasy that you showed him that grossed you both out.
Oh.
With your mixed successes.
I see. That was just a flash of what it could really be. Because the truth is, it could be whatever you want it to be. It'd be your kingdom. But this is what I think we could accomplish. A glimpse of what it might be.
And not just accomplish, but, I mean, this could be the start of something huge.
I think you'll hear a voice from behind you go, kind of like a revolution. Then in will step Ramsey Lincoln, at which Thugamon will, like, roll fully over and actually sit up in the bed. And Ramsey will be like, it wouldn't have to be his sea kingdom. It'd be yours. Something new. Something built by and for the young king. What Anna at least would sort of intuit is that what Ramsey is hedging against. Okay, I need to just tell you guys the whole backstory that I love about this place that I've come up with. The moment he disappeared, himself and his wife and his son away, he went straight here because he could go straight to the Sea Kingdom. He was surprised and confused by what he found there, but he found a space, he found a cave. Some things started to attack them, and they managed to sort of ward the space against them. So everything within this cave that is alive is hidden from that which hunts things that are alive here.
Mm-hmm.
He went back and forth a couple of times because he wanted to get and give Gale some of her plants, because that's what she would like in her home. He built her a home. He built her a living room. He built her a kitchen. He built them a bedroom for the two of them, and he built a bedroom for their son. When it came time to continue to water the plants, one of the powers that he has is a degree of control over like weather. And so he was able to use that in a limited way to make it rain in this pond. But the like pittance of rain that he could bring and put there, and the complete death of the sea was just too much for him. It was the trying to do that, the trying to create this water to provide for her and her plants that ultimately broke him and sent him into this depression. That it's all over. The sea is dead. There's no hope. There's no future. So what Ramsey is trying to do, give that story a next chapter. That just because your father's sea kingdom is dead, and make no mistake, it is dead.
Yep, it's gone.
That doesn't mean there's no future. That doesn't mean...
That sounds like that's what Kira was kind of saying.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think what I want you to understand here, but not investigate any further. Kira, read a bad situation.
Don't investigate any further, but roll roll 2 and read. 10.
Thugamon recognized Ramsey.
Oh, okay. I was actually wondering that.
Yep.
And Kira realizes that?
Uh-huh.
Or Anna does?
Both.
Oh, okay.
And then I think Thugamon will like, I don't like this any more than you do, but unfortunately, Thugamon is wearing nothing but tidy whities.
Of course.
And he will like sit up and put his enormous hands on his enormous knees and like kind of lean forward. So what do we need to do? Theo.
So I'm wondering if I could potentially paint an image for you, and you can tell me what is different. You had mentioned that the space around them kind of turned into like therapist office-esque, and one of those walls turned black, like black shadows or whatever.
It's since come back, by the way, to a normal office wall. So what are you running to?
I don't even know if I'm capable. All of the mistakes that I've done, why me? I'm worthless. I was taught to be worthless, that I hold no value. The walls darken, and there is a door, and you can see the light that's underneath it, and you can hear what is familiar to Theo, the footsteps of her father coming down the hallway. The light that's under the door, you see the shadow of 2 feet. I'm not strong.
Selena will stand up and walk past you and towards that door, and will put a hand on the handle and look at you as if asking for permission. Not finding it, she will open the door anyway. And on the other side of the door is your father the way you last remember him, with a shock of white hair, a gnarly scar over one of his eyes. He sort of bows his head to you. And she opens the door and she shows your father as he is, what you made of him. And then he and she will both look at you. Doesn't seem too weak to me. Doesn't seem like you're even running away from this family. What are you doing?
Being the person that I am.
Not who they made you. Not who they predicted.
No.
She will close the door. She will open it again. And then, standing there is you as you were last year. Both of your eyes normal and intact. Your hair a bright semi-unnatural red. Mismatched Chuck Taylors. Looking, honestly, the first thing that hits your mind when you look at this vision of yourself is, oh my God, that's me from 15 years ago. Would she think you're strong?
Yeah, she would think I'm strong.
Why? Strong enough to do what?
Because I made me who I am. I did it on my own. I did it. I am worthy, and I am strong, and I'm capable. I'm also not alone anymore.
The only difference between you and her, she gestures towards the younger you beyond the door, is that she can't see it, and you can see everything.
Can Theo wake up now?
Roll plus weird.
11.
Okay. The scene I want to set is that you will walk towards this younger version of yourself. You will each reach out a hand to the other, and when your hands make contact, your vision will go white and then eventually sort of fade into a kind of dim nothingness. And then you will blink awake and realize that your arms are like draped semi-casually over somebody's shoulders, and you blink and it smells like aftershave from 75 years ago. Donovan is carrying you around on his back.
I imagine Theo be, and like flail and like fall backwards.
I'm not going to have you roll. I'm just going to have that happen. You plump down onto your butt.
Whoa, Theo! Anna like kind of scrambles over to you.
Do I remember what happened in there?
You now remember everything. You're back.
Okay. I think Theo still has like a fucking headache.
Oh, yeah. Feels like somebody stabbed you in the eye.
Yeah. And then Anna comes hurrying over. I think Theo's like, quiet. No.
Stop being so bright.
I can't. It's just my personality. You okay?
Aside from the massive, horrible headache that I have now. Yeah.
Oh, here. I think like Anna might kind of just like guide her head like down a little and like almost like in Anna's like lap and just kind of be like rubbing your temples and be like, Ramsey taught me this thing the other day. And then I kind of try to do like I'm trying to think, what is it called? Like where you kind of do like the pressure points.
Acupressure?
It's kind of, yeah. Like I think she's kind of using that like combined with some like healing gestures maybe that she's learned from Ramsey to see if that will help.
Roll plus weird.
Is my head like the back of my head in your lap?
I kind of think so. Yeah. Like she's kind of like, like you're kind of leaned against her and she's putting it. Yeah. Like you're like a massage patient, like beneath her kind of. Yeah.
Yeah.
12. If that's magic, that is advanced.
Theo, you feel like good, like really weirdly fine and good. Like
would that like heal my last harm point that I have?
Oh, big no.
Do
but
it.
Like the sort of loss of equilibrium that was there from your eyes being off is gone. And like the pain, while not completely faded, is heavily dimmed as though like it feels distant, like a phantom memory.
Yeah. Her right hand had kind of like gone up, was gripping your calf.
Mm-hmm.
But then like as your massaging like helped, it loosened and softened, and Theo just like exhales. Thank you.
Yeah. I think Anna like kind of looks up to like Ramsey for validation. Like, did I do it right?
Ramsey's talking to Thugamon.
Oh, okay.
What is Mark doing?
I was over by Theo helping.
Well, then if Mark was with us, then Theo's hand would be on Mark, not Anna. No offense.
It's okay.
I think Mark would have been there in the back, just like knowing that you were having, like coming out of this and just like, it's okay, we'll help you along kind of thing.
Yeah, I am imagining Mark being there, but yet fully silent. Anna doing whatever she's doing, and Mark being just like, hi, and like, here are my hands if you need to grab them.
Mm-hmm.
And Theo grabbing one of his hands. A soothing presence.
To Anna, and I'm guessing Mark would also hear. Theo would say, and her eyes are closed, I saw Selena.
Wait.
Anna kind of like pauses what she's doing.
Your sister?
Yeah, I saw her in my head.
What'd she say?
A lot of things.
Good things?
Just things.
Are you okay?
I'm okay.
Is she still here?
My sister? Theo opened her eyes.
Is she still with you?
Mark, when Theo opens her eyes, the one that takes you by surprise is, I believe, her right eye, which had been the first one. But then you realize that both of her eyes are like this glinting ice blue.
But they like look more normal. They're not just like milky white anymore.
They don't necessarily look normal. They are not milky white.
But they're like a icy
like
blue.
A really intense icy blue.
Well, shit. Somebody's eyes look a little bit different.
Well, I mean, yeah, I shoved that other dead eye in.
Yeah, it was pretty badass. How are you feeling? Besides, the splitting headache. Rubs your temples a little bit more.
I think Mark is again silent and just kind of like taking that in for a moment, like, well, that's different.
Mark Clayton, confirmed Minnesotan.
Mm-hmm.
Processing, overwhelmed.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm okay.
I think Mark at that kind of gets down to your level and gives you a hug. Glad that you're okay.
Yeah, I'm fine.
Nobody believes you, Theo.
Yeah, I kind of think like Anna is just like, it's okay to not be like okay. I mean, like honestly, none of us are okay. My sister's got some fire demon angel, I don't know, in her. There's, you know, the whole gray hand situation going on. There's the whole Thugamon and Gale situation.
Okay. You convinced me that maybe I'm not okay, but I am a little bit better than I was before.
Good. While you were sleeping, there has been some developments.
Yeah, where are we?
We're in that cave where we fought Oscar, but it's now being occupied by Thugamon and, you know, Gale and their little princeling.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I think they would, Anna would reiterate, kind of catch Theo up to speed on what was discussed.
Okay.
Does it have to be like willingly putting their will elsewhere?
You're talking about like with what the gray hand would have to do if we wanted to split him from his will.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's a thing that we have to figure out. If there's a way to forcibly remove it, or if it has to be something that is, I don't know if we could trick him into doing it, or if it has to be himself. That remains to be seen.
All right. Well,
if it helps for future terminology, the name of this spell in my head is regicide.
Oh, okay.
What does that mean?
You killing of a king.
Oh.
For just the like ease of communication to like, oh, when we do the regicide ritual, I'll accept it.
Well, now Anna's thinking about that. I have this idea for a spell that maybe we could create. I'm calling it the regicide, but I know what you're thinking. It's not like actually like, you know, that, but it's what it would effectively do would be to separate, you know, the king from his.
Alternate title would be dethroned.
Yeah, we could go with dethroned.
Thea's going to sit up, but she's going to sit up a little bit too quickly, and her head is going to spin, and she's going to pause and like
easy.
press her palm into like her forehead. Did Thugamon say yes to becoming a king, or what? How are we bringing back the sea?
Well, says Kira, we were just getting to that. I guess now we kind of have to figure out next steps, guys.
Can I just ask, because it felt like an elephant in the room, does Thugamon do or say anything like that maybe his attention is now being attracted to Theo? Does he recognize me? Because I erased his memory before.
No, I don't think he's even seen you really.
Yeah.
He's still in his room kind of trying to sit up, trying to explain how briefs work to the audience. But I do think that all of your attention will be drawn immediately to the sort of front door entrance of the place, which you will hear two huge thuds, sort of human-esque shouting, like just a deep guttural bellow that is, maybe they were always there, or maybe it's being answered by a series of like toothy shrieks outside this place. Something is coming.
Oh, great. Well, we might need to scram out of here. I don't know if that's the sand bugs or if that is the Reaper, but I don't really want to stick around to find out.
Yeah, can Theo get up with the help of Mark and Anna and like try and stumble to the gate, the front door?
Yeah, you can get up just fine, and I think like after a step or two, you're like a little more sure of yourself, and you can walk unassisted.
Can I look out and see if I can see anything?
Roll read a bad situation.
It's an 11.
Okay. Ask you 3 questions, and then I will tell you something.
What do I see?
So you walk out of the cave, and you walk to like the fence that has this little wooden gate. You like ka-chunk, open the gate, and walk out, and you see like a few yards into the like sandy void, pounding the ground, basically making as frightening a spectacle of himself as he can, is the princeling. He's like shouting out into the distance, and then as he sees you, he turns around and shouts just the same noise at you, and then turns around and keeps doing it. And then you can see evidence of something burrowing. Maybe a dozen gentle twinklings of orangish light from under the ground.
Does it look like the Reaper's lights?
Is that a question?
Does it look like the Reaper's glowing runes?
It looks like the same color as the Reaper, yes.
Cool.
Lauren, do you think it would be a bad question to ask? What would be the best way to protect the victims, and the victims meaning by Gale, Thugamon, and their son?
I don't think that's a bad idea. I mean, we know that the Reaper is attracted to blood, so I'm sure we could distract it.
We don't yet know really how to get rid of the Reaper, correct?
You have the merest hint
We were told last session that we could basically, if we could get it to go to the hallway, that it would essentially be, it would kind of go back to where it came from, I think is how you had phrased it. Like it was originally from somewhere else.
Yeah, that's the idea.
So that's on Avenue.
What's the best way to protect Thugaman and his family?
Hide them from the Reaper within the cave.
Because, yeah, this place is like warded, right?
That's the sense you got, and that's the answer I'm giving you.
Yeah.
Okay, I have an idea, but I'm gonna need Anna and Mark's help. Anna, Mark, Donovan, I'm gonna need your help out here.
Okay, what's up? What do we need to do?
What's your plan?
Can Theo cast magic on herself to do something beyond human limitations and make herself faster?
Sure.
And tell Mark and Anna and Donovan, we gotta lead it away. We gotta chase it away from here so that it doesn't harm Thugaman.
Okay, I might have an idea too.
What's your idea, Mark?
I was gonna say I might be able to it's kind of like sky step, being able to bound farther using portal jumps or whatever. So I still keep their attention, but I can move faster.
The other thing, just because I think you guys might have forgotten about them, you do have those blood bikes. So, like, if that's a thing,
we could hop on the bikes.
If you want speed.
Because that's what I'm wondering is if we lead them towards where we know the hallway to be, is we could basically have it chase us there. And then if we can open up the door and just seal it behind it so that it's gone and out. So maybe we should try to scram and get on the bikes.
Okay,
that sounds like a good idea.
that.
Mark hops on his...
Yes. I think Anna would go kind of like grab Kira and be like, we gotta go. There is the Reaper approaching, and I think we want to keep this little weird family safe. Kira will kind of just nod and then give a look to Thugaman and be like, we'll be back. We'll draw this thing away from you guys, but we're gonna see if we can find out some more information about the kingdom, how we rebuild it, but we will be back.
And then I think Mark is gonna nod and then head over to one of the ATVs and start her up.
All right, Tommy, let's go. Kira grabs Tommy's hand.
Do I need to make act under pressure rolls to do this portal thing?
Are you doing it while on the bike, or what are you doing? Or are you just
I was taking your suggestion of doing it while I'm on the bike.
But you were driving with somebody, so that probably wouldn't work.
I think she was meaning me cast magic.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, never mind then.
I mean, you could do the portal thing, but not be on a bike. But like,
if I was the only one,
Ramsey would be kind of be SOL.
Yeah. Never mind.
You don't need both keys to start the bike. Like, Kira and Tommy can totally go on their own because, you know, they're a bonded pair. But like, Mark could just take one of these and go on his own. With that in mind, I need to know what everybody is doing.
I wanted to, and maybe, well, this can just be a conversation real quick. Do you want me to go ahead and try and distract them while you guys make a run for it, or what?
I would say you should go ahead and maybe work on opening the door.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Because is it Kira or Mark that can open it?
That's a great idea.
That's actually good. Kira can't. We tried that before. It's Mark because he has a connection to here.
Yep.
To there.
I.e. there.
Yeah. So it has to be Mark.
All right. On it.
You go and do that. We'll meet you at the doorway.
All right.
Get on the bikes, peoples.
Can Theo cast magic to make the bikes go faster?
Sure.
Have like the wind at our back since she's got like wind.
Love that. Theo, roll wind at your back. Roll plus weird.
Yes, that is an 8.
Pick a glitch with the reminder that this won't affect you.
Yeah. Oh man. Which one? I'm gonna use ancient magics.
Oh boy. Okay.
So I'll take a negative forward.
Okay.
Theo's feeling confident in herself.
So Mark and who else is getting on the blood bikes?
Mark is like poofing, I thought.
For reasons that you're not putting together, it actually does make a ton of sense for Mark to take the bike, because let me remind you, those bikes are full of blood. They're fluorescent to the Reaper.
I'm gonna hop on the bike and I'm going to proceed to go towards.
This is the other wall you guys are going to crash into. Is you're looking for that door to the hallway. Where is that?
So I was gonna ask if I could roll like act under pressure to remember where it is.
Can I tune into the hallway?
Can't tune into the hallway.
We have been there before, so Mark in theory could literally teleport to the place that he has been before. Correct?
Question, and I know Johnny would love this, but could I possibly... God, why do I always want to call him the Headless Horseman?
The Charming Coachman.
The Charming Coachman, thank you. Could I tune into him and borrow the map that he knows to find this place?
His navigation skills.
Yeah. To be able to log this information, just be like, hey, do you mind if I... Thanks. That would be one way to maybe get it. Unless he doesn't know where it is. I don't know.
No, he brought us there.
Oh, he brought us
before.
there. Okay.
Yeah.
I want you to roll 2 things for me, Mark Clayton. To make the contact I want you to roll plus weird. He's beyond a number of veils.
11.
So you reach out in a bunch of directions, not really exactly knowing where physically he is, and one of them seems to sort of catch the consciousness of the charming coachman. I think as opposed to last time you contacted him when he was at rest, he's now in motion and more kind of morbidly curious what you're asking for. So now I will ask you to roll manipulate someone to get access to the information you want from him.
And for the record, I just imagine me suddenly just like in spirit form sitting next to him, riding somewhere, and just like looked over at him. Do you mind if I borrow this information?
He's just like going, turns to look at you.
7. I know this is a very odd scenario.
It really is. And mixed success on manipulate someone is my absolute least favorite.
You have to give a reason for it or whatever, usually, right?
They'll ask you a difficult question. Yeah, I think he's just gonna sort of communicate back into your head, not the word, but the sense. What for?
With that, Mark, just glaring at him, swoops his head over to the right to this vision he's going to project of these things underneath the sand coming at us and our team running from them. And then I swoop my head back and look at him.
I think, honestly, I'm now cool with this mixed success on manipulate someone because he's like, the vibe you're getting is like kind of that's not good enough. And he like holds out the palm of his hand and then takes his two fingers on his other hand and like makes a running motion across his palm of his hand, like basically trying to communicate, just leave. If you're dealing with the Reaper, the implication is go away from it.
I think we need to tell him kind of why this whole thing is even happening, like what the Star King is going to try to do.
Here is what I think Mark is going to do, because Mark is frustrated of him asking for stuff. He is going to, in his spirit form, put out his hand for a brief moment, expectedly.
You know, the last time you did that, it didn't go well.
For his hand.
He'll take it.
Mark will look at him and then grasp him with both hands and just shoot all of his visions of the Star King, everything we've gone through to get to this point, and just flood that into his mind suddenly, and then sit back down.
Will you, for reasons that please me, roll plus weird?
Why?
Oh, God.
Why? God damn it.
Double bucks. Do you have other dice you can roll?
I feel like if he did, you'd be mad because you got him those, and they're very important to us as friends.
What were you rolling?
He was rolling plus weird to implant all of his memories of all of this into the charming coachman.
Oh no! What did I put in his head?
No. I know exactly what happens. Oh, this is exceedingly good. You don't understand how good this is. Mark!
I am going to throw up.
Okay, so I need to first describe what physically is seen to happen. So an astral projection of Mark, who is sitting on the front of the charming coachman's charming coach, holds out an ethereal hand. The charming coachman takes that hand. There's a flash of light, and the Mark apparition is gone. And Mark, you find yourself at the reins of a coach that doesn't seem to be being drawn by horses, but is nonetheless being pulled through the sky. And those of you in the cave are now seeing Mark, who had been headed for the blood bikes, halt suddenly and then look around blinking and not speaking and very confused as to what he's doing here. The most important thing for you, John, is that Mark is now piloting the charming coach.
Oh, fuck.
You switched bodies, bro.
So our Mark is now sitting, or what we think is Mark is sitting on the four-wheeler, but it's the charming coachman, and he's unable to communicate because he doesn't really know how to communicate.
Yep. The good news is...
I mean, I guess maybe do you at least know where... You might know where the hallway is now.
Mark lets out a little whimper and then does a nice little rain chuck for good luck.
Yeah, the good news is... You know with 100% certainty that you are in the Sky Kingdom, and you know with 100% certainty where there is a gateway to the hallway within the Sea Kingdom.
But do I have access to anything of my own? other than my mind, like to be able to open the door.
What do you mean your mind? You're the charming coachman.
Oh wait, the charming coachman has that ability to. Never mind.
You know that like there is a door guarded by the bird knight between the sky and the sea, so you could negotiate your way through there.
I see.
I mean, he's let you through there before, but the last time he let you through there, you had someone who impersonated Ro, which you're not fully cool with, but you know these people they have their politics, and you have your coach.
I see.
Is he able to still communicate with the rest of us?
Do you want to communicate with them?
Like telepathically, I'm talking about. Like, is the Skynet still open?
No, it's down.
It's not open. Yeah, I think like Kira would probably be like, Mark, what's the status? Mark, why aren't you moving?
Mark is like investigating the blood bike as though he's unearthed an ancient relic.
Mark!
I'm guessing the rest of us see him not moving on the bike?
Uh-huh. He went off with a plan, and then something else happened, and he's just stopped. And these things are still coming towards you.
And were we following behind him at this point?
Likely. I think those of you who had a plan maybe went off and did the plan.
Well, we were literally just gonna head toward following him, but behind.
Well, then your leader has stopped.
Are you okay, Lauren, if Theo jumps off her motorcycle from Ramsey? Because I'm guessing, was it Ramsey or is it Lincoln?
It's Ramsey now.
It's Ramsey right now.
So I'm guessing that Theo and Ramsey paired up. Theo's gonna run over, kind of like shake his shoulder. Mark, like, are you okay? Why did you stop? We have to go. And she like looks back, and I'm guessing sees the earth moving.
Yep, and glowing. Mark is looking at you like not like he doesn't recognize you, but like he has no idea why you're talking to him like this. Like just confused in a way that I think would register to you as offensive.
Cool. We really need to get going, Mark. I don't know what's going on, but we're still being followed. And like Theo kind of gestures behind.
Mark, come on! Anna's like on the back of the or driving her thing. She's like, what's going on?
Okay, you know what? Back up. And Theo's gonna like get on in front of Mark.
Okay.
On the four-wheeler and just go like, okay, hang on. Theo's gonna take over.
Theo, roll act under pressure.
9.
Theo peels out and Mark falls off the back.
Theo stop immediately. Mark, come on.
Can Anna roll Spirit Touch to see what the fuck is going on here?
I would love for Anna to roll Spirit Touched.
Leave it to Mark to press the fucking button.
14.
Yeah, that's not Mark anymore.
It's not Mark. That's.
Wait, what do you?
Do I know? I think I get questions with that. I sense them fully, I think, when I roll that. Do I know it's the coachman?
You are 100% sure it is the charming coachman.
Theo's hands are lighting up with lightning. Who's taken over, Mark?
I think he's switched bodies with the coachman.
I want to give you some description things about the coachman that you would get with that role. I think it's all largely stuff that you already know or that we've talked about, but I don't know if we've talked about it not in just a hanging out way. That he's hundreds of years old. He hasn't been able to speak for a very long time. He has died dozens of times. And each time he came back a little less complete. And the last time he died, in order that he would not slip away, his contract of service was transmitted to the entire realm of there. He serves the place as a concept. Aw, even with your complete knowledge of his soul, spirit, and identity, even that, you don't know what his name was. He used to have a name, but there's no trace of it, not anywhere.
Does he remember his name?
No, he doesn't even remember that he had one.
Then, yeah, Anna would be like, yeah, no, this is the coachman. He and Mark switched bodies, I think.
Oh, God. Okay.
Coachman, we need to get to the hallway because, one, and I think she points to the thing behind us, like chasing after us, that is following us, and two, the Grey Hand wants to destroy everything, and we don't want that to happen, and I think since you serve this realm, you probably don't want that to happen either. Where do we need to go?
Theo's hopped off of her four-wheeler and, like, holding out her hand to Coachman Mark.
Get on.
Coach Mark. So I have a very important question. Who is driving, trying to do what? Like, are you leaving anybody back in the cave?
I think, we had established that either Kira or Donovan would have taken to the sky, but now that I think we are all essentially on the same four-wheelers, we could probably just all take the four-wheelers again. So I think it would probably be Kira Tummy, Anna Lowry, Ramsey Donovan, and then, Theo and Mark.
Theo, Mark Coachman.
Okay, and you are leaving no judgment, You're leaving the young king and his family in the cave?
Yes, because we were told that that's where they would be safest.
Okay.
Was in the cave. And we are trying to lead them away from there.
Okay, so Theo, the Mark coachman, is going to insist on driving.
Okay. Theo will hop on the back and grab on.
And then he will just peel the fuck out, which I will then, for driving reasons, want Theo to roll act under pressure and Anna to roll help out.
Oh, that looks good. That is good. That's a 14 advance move.
One of them almost rolled to a 1. 10.
Which means 12.
Which makes that an advanced move if that matters.
It does. So, hoo boy. Yeah, these fucking... So not only are these like really good fully all-terrain vehicles for this extremely alien terrain, but they are like, as mentioned, suffused with blood, which does make them and you extremely appetizing.
We are a beacon
for these things that are chasing you, which pulls them 100% away from this cave. The next thing I need to happen is for Mark to roll act under pressure.
11.
Nice. Okay. So it will still take you a bit longer because you are coming from farther away. So, okay. Mark is going to come to the like gate that does look like a sort of waterfall of black smoke that is guarded by basically a dude in armor who kind of reminds you of Big Bird. His armor around the middle is very wide and circular. He has a sort of very extremely tall helmet. This is a person that you have encountered before the first time you went into the sea. He is the Bird Knight, and he is assigned to guard this particular door between the sky and the sea. I think he's going to kind of look up at you and be like, it's a bit soon to be heading back into the Dead Sea.
I think he's going to try and do his best impression of the coachman and just look over expectantly like,
Roll manipulate someone, please.
Okay, now I like the fuck dice. Double 6s.
I think the Bird Knight will go, well, you're well above my pay grade, and take his like long halberd and sort of scrape it horizontally across some of the smoke, which will like pull the smoke apart like a curtain, allowing for the coach to go in.
Mark in the back of his head went, wow, that went really smooth.
This is the charmingest I've ever been. Maybe I should get a coach. So, Coach Mark makes his way into the Dead Sea.
Also, real quick, what is the vibe I get from the horses?
What horses?
Horses.
Oh, wait. What is it connected to again?
Nothing.
Oh.
Roll investigate a mystery.
Double 6s again.
So, Mark, what you know, the coach and its entire function exists essentially as a construct from the coachman's own mind and memory.
It's a remnants of something that was?
Yes, there are no horses because over time there were too many horses for him to have remembered any of them especially fondly. All he knew by the end was that he was in charge of the coach and he brought people to places, and there was something that did that, and he was in charge of being the thing that did that.
Yeah, no, I understand what you're saying.
The whole thing.
He boiled it down to the core of what he was doing.
More like it was boiled down for him. Things were burned off of him, is the vibe I want you to get. And all that's left is this container for his masters and his direction to bring them.
I have a whole new mystery on my hands.
So, Coach Mark, you are given passage in, and after some time, you know exactly where to go. You know exactly where, having known what the plan had been, you know where to go to get a door that could open to the hallway. The other thing that you can do now that you are here back in the Dead Sea is reopen Skynet.
Okay. Well, I think Mark reopens that. Coachman, sorry. That was not my intention.
Mark, roll manipulate someone.
13.
Okay, no, it's fine. So you reach out. Everyone knows where you are. Everyone knows what they are. They are much closer to the doorway to the hallway than you are. Basically, they're on their blood bikes and they are running in one direction. They're being chased by something under the ground. And then there's you. And then also, if you are looking straight at your friends and the things that are chasing them off in the distance, off to like the right, there's some huge fight happening.
Not us?
Nope, not you.
Is this the war?
Like strong and fast metal clashing against metal, sparks flying, huge thumps happening with bursts up of clouds of sand, some very concentrated battle happening off in some direction.
Any way we can swap you back into your other bodies, Mark?
I don't know. I can try.
I can maybe do that banishing a spirit like when we did with Quinn and me.
Yeah, that might work. Do we need to, like, draw this thing away? Or how far behind is it from us, Johnny?
Is what from you?
The Reaper.
So the things underneath the ground are, like, probably kind of nipping at your heels.
So I'm wondering if we try to draw it away so that Mark could potentially open the door and have time to do that so that we could, like, give him some time, maybe?
Yeah, like split up or something.
I don't know if I want to split up.
Well, I just mean like just
because there's multiples of these things was my impression. So then it'll just break off.
Can Mark do it in the charming coachman's body?
Can I?
Only one way to find out.
Can I argue that would Anna have been able to suss that out from her spirit touch thing? Like, do they have their own abilities, like of the body, or is it like only like of the mind? Or
fuck, that makes sense. Mm-hmm. And I think the thing that actually makes sense is that the charming coachman in Mark's body would be able to open it.
The charming coachman in Mark's body, but not the other way around.
Right.
So we would need to swap them.
No. Like, the charming coachman that you have with you currently,
he could
open it because he's occupying Mark's body.
But Mark couldn't in the coachman's body.
Likely.
So Coach Mark and
Mark Coachman.
And Mark Man.
Mark Man. Shame on you.
So the charming coachman and I should go towards the doorway to the hallway?
Unless there's a way we can swap them back again, but I don't know what. How could we draw these creatures' attention, like to divert it? Can Kira roll monster empathy?
Sure.
14. What would distract it?
The bikes.
You could ghost ride him.
Although we do also partially want it to follow us.
Right.
Like into the hallway. So like what if almost everybody except for the charming coachman and I like veer off and then we get the hallway ready, like kind of the original plan, and then you guys come back?
So you guys would just like ditch the bikes? Is that what you're saying? Because they'll come after the bikes. So if you guys veer off on the bikes, they'll still come after you.
Yeah, could the charming coachman and I like jump off the bike and then Donovan take over the bike? Because Donovan can fly and like switch bikes.
Maybe Kira should pick up and fly the coachman there. Yeah.
Okay, you can do that. Let's do that.
I think that's what she's going to do. So I think Kira would... I think Tommy would have been driving.
100%.
Fly him over to the door. If you guys can divert the attention, then we can maybe at least get this started and hopefully get this open.
Yep, we'll go around the block.
Okay. See you in a minute.
I need...
Yes.
Kira to grab the Mark Coachman, roll act under pressure. I need Theo to have Mark grabbed away from you and then take control of your blood bike.
Oh, God.
Roll act under pressure.
Okay, good. I rolled a 10.
Oh, Miah. What did you roll?
This is crazy.
I rolled a 10.
This is a circus. This is a goddamn circus. I love it.
This is exquisite. This is so much fun.
First a building heist, now a car chase.
We are but dice and paper. This whole sequence is amazing. So, the whole group of you riding on your ATVs, Kira stretches out her wings and like a parachute kind of flies away from them and swoops down and like hovers for a bit over Theo and the Mark Coachman, grabs him under his underarms and pulls him up. Theo scoots forward, grabs control, and the lot of you on the blood bikes turn and veer off in one direction, leaving Kira holding the Mark Coachman, continuing to fly in the direction that he directs. As seen from above, this like group of ATVs kicking up
Blood Riders
kicking up a bit of dirt as they pass, spins to one side, and then the other thing that spins to one side is this like set of glowing something chasing you underground, just veers off to chase all of you, completely ignoring Kira and the Mark Coachman.
Okay. All right, we got this. I know you've never done this before, but I can help, I think. Okay. Are we almost there?
So yeah, you set him down and even you can see basically what you had seen before. What it looks like is a strand of spider silk. Like there's just this kind of shimmering vertical line that sometimes you can see and it exists, and sometimes it's like maybe you imagined it from before.
Yeah.
The other thing that you are aware of is the approaching din of horse hooves
Okay, perfect.
and the rattle of wheels.
I think your other half is almost here.
And Coach Mark, you have been just making a beeline because you also have known this whole time where the door was. I think you couldn't necessarily see where your friends were. You could probably see the things under the ground. And then you saw the big fight that you saw.
Mm-hmm.
As you saw the glowing things under the ground turn to one side, I think you assumed, I'm not going to make you roll to be smart. You could be like, I knew I could believe in my friends that they're veering them away. We're going to get over to this thing and we're going to make this happen. And then we're going to lure them back and then that'll be the thing.
So I think as Mark is approaching, Kira is maybe trying to explain to the coachman like what needs to be done. And I kind of like, you've seen all of Moon Knight, I assume, Johnny.
Yeah.
I literally almost have that scene in mind where it's like Khonshu explaining like how to turn back the sky, and is kind of like walking like literally the motions, like this is what you kind of need to do, and explaining the process and trying to guide.
If you want to do it that way, Kira, roll use magic.
Okay. 12 advanced move.
Okay, so it is going to work a little bit like that you are going to sort of explain so hard how to do this that you are actually going to a certain degree, take control of his body.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't think she even like meant to be doing that. And then I almost think it like this kind of surprises her that happens.
Yep. And you're like, no, it's like
Whoa.
this. And like to the degree of every finger and knuckle in your hand, he matches perfectly. And then you realize you can do that. It is like you search around with his hand until the palm of it catches on a sort of metaphysical zipper. And then you click it into place and pull down, opening the door between this place and that one. I honestly think it would take you by surprise how tied to so many unpleasant memories the mere sight and sound of this place is. Like as soon as that zipper comes, it's this fizzy chattering, and there's just the glow of the like gold and purple lightning from inside, and you hate it so much.
Yeah, I think Kira almost instinctually kind of puts her hands up to her head and is like, good job.
And then the coach arrives.
Oh, good, you're here.
Question.
Mm-hmm.
When I reply, what does the coachman sound like?
The very first detail I can give you is that you know when you first wake up and you haven't spoken in hours, and the very first thing you say comes out several registers lower and like creaky.
Yeah.
It's like that. So it's dry and crackly. Ooh, I don't like this, and this makes me uncomfortable for like generational discomfort reasons. But yeah, he speaks with an Irish accent.
I'm not gonna do that.
We'll be able to hear your Irish accent, John.
The only thing I can say is
What do you say?
Say what you say.
I've arrived. Wait.
Okay.
What in bloody hell? What? I think he's just like taken aback by the accent. And then
Mark, you've changed.
And then I think myself looks over at Mark and am just like, really?
Okay, now can we get you guys back into your own bodies?
The rest of you who are leading these glowing lights away, what's your deal? What are you doing?
I feel like, tell me what you think, Anna. Not until we hear like a go ahead from Mark and Kira. I think we're just trying to distract this beast.
Yeah, I think Anna maybe would check in. How's it going? Are you guys doing okay over there? And Kira might reply back, we got the door open, but we're trying to see if we can get these guys back into their respective bodies. Give us another like minute and then head back. We'll give you the signal. How can we get them back into their bodies?
First, Anna, roll act under pressure.
Anna rolled a 10.
Okay. The stack of you are maintaining your sort of semicircular
Flying V.
chase move.
Except it wouldn't be a V. It'd be 4 of us.
I'm imagining like you're like doing the wide loop-de-loops to
Sure.
continue to give them. You've played Snake on your Nokia cell phones. You gotta keep it moving around.
Yeah, can Kira maybe help out with getting these guys back into their bodies, perhaps?
I want Mark to roll use magic, and I want Kira to roll help out.
Okay. That is a 7.
11.
So does that make it a 12 for you?
Because the good news is that Mark and the coachman are going to switch back.
Mm-hmm.
But the bad news
puts you in danger. I think the bad news is that Kira's attempt to sort of supercharge the spell meant accessing and discharging what I have been calling end fire.
Wonderful.
Using the power of Ember to try and help, which did help to like add fuel to the spell to re-bridge and retransfer Mark and the coachman back into each other's bodies, but also sort of sent straight up a flame, almost like a flare.
I'm here. Fuck. Okay. Now guys, now, head back now.
What was that?
A little discharge. Don't worry about it.
Okay. So wait, sorry. Am I in my own body again?
So yes, you are in your own body. The coachman is back in his own body. The two of you plus Kira are at this like opening in the air that leads between the Dead Sea and the infinite hallway. I mean, the good news is this beacon has been like, hey, there's something alive over here, to the thing that you were trying to get to go into that hallway. The bad news is that's not the only thing that's looking for stuff.
So, yeah, no, Kira would have been over Skynet. She would have been like, okay, now, turn back now. I think we just caught some attention.
All right, headed back to you.
Now I want Anna to roll act under pressure.
Anna rolled a 9.
Anna, would you roll me what I like to call a naked D6?
I don't like this at all. Why would you make me do this? 6.
Theo.
Yeah.
You all turn to head towards where you know Mark and Kira to be, and they're like, come back, come over here, here we are. As they all turn, you find yourself in the rear. And you find yourself being the sort of glowing, trembling lights under the sand are gaining on you. And one of them gets within just a few feet of you. 3-fingered, extended arm bursts out of the sandy ground, drags itself through it, and grabs the rear tire of your blood bike.
Oof.
I want to use one of my star align points and evade an attack.
Okay.
Nice.
I love it.
I was holding on to that to like the very right moment. I'm just like, I can't wait. Okay.
Honestly, I think the way that looks is like it's a video game that glitched and you're like going straight forward and then you just for no reason skid perfectly horizontally to one side, as though you like created a wall of force or wind that blew you and like, and this hand just grasps at nothing, and then you like rear back on your rear wheels and just shoot forward, and then you all wind up at this area that is the gate between the Sea Kingdom and the infinite hallway.
Do you think we would just drive the bikes right in?
Yeah, I would just throw the bikes right in.
And then just like jump out like, ah!
I was gonna say ghost ride it, just
yeah.
Boom.
You want to send the bikes into the hallway and not go in with them?
I mean, if it's following the bikes, right? Why you make it seem like that was a bad idea?
I like that. Okay.
Okay.
I am going to make
Okay.
you roll some things. I'm going to make somebody roll manipulate someone and somebody roll help out.
Okay. Kira would maybe roll help out if she can.
Okay. I have a 3 to manipulate someone. What about you, John?
I have a 3 to manipulate someone. I can do it.
You roll.
You roll.
I don't trust my mark dice, but let's do it.
I know, neither do I. That's why I want you to do it.
6s.
11.
It landed in the crack of the table. One dice is a 6. The other one is either a 6 or a 4.
You re-roll that one. It's cocked.
Okay. And it rolls a fuck.
So that's a 10 still, right?
10. Yes.
Kira rolled an 11 and she's got helping hand, so that actually makes yours a 12.
Hell yeah. That escalated quickly.
So you like get there and Mark and Kira and the coachman who are there in advance hold this sort of like slice in reality open as though it's a curtain, basically. Everyone bails off of their blood bikes as they let it just slide through.
Anna just like holds onto Lowry and parachutes off with him because he's got wings too.
Yep.
Yeah.
And Anna was driving, so yeah, he would wrap his arms around you and just like let his wings go and pull you up with him. Yeah, it's exhilarating.
I think Theo like lands in the sand hard.
Mm-hmm. And Donovan probably would have done the same for Ramsey, like with the wings.
Absolutely. This is not the first four-wheeler that Tommy has dove off of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he'll be okay too. So you fly off and you let these four-wheelers just rocket through. And then what I want to happen is basically just about everybody runs for cover. I think based on the way they're rolling, who I made roll, I want Mark to kind of post up on the opposite side of the opening to continue to lure things, funnel straight towards you, and then as they get close enough, they will like leap out of the sand at you, but then will wind up directly inside the infinite hallway. And this happens over and over and over and over.
Like, because there's multiple of them?
Yeah.
And then I immediately try to zip it up right behind.
Okay. Roll plus weird.
12.
Nice.
I can stop breathing.
Every time with the hallway, I get so nervous.
I know, right?
Is everybody okay? Am I okay?
Does it close just fine, Johnny?
It closes just fine.
Okay. Yeah. I think Kira like goes over to Tommy, helps him up from the ground. I think just gives him a huge hug. Yeah, we're okay.
I think Mark will walk over to because the coachman is still there, correct?
Yep.
I think Mark will walk over to the coachman, kneel down on one knee and, as if like he's being knighted, and he'd be like, I am truly sorry for taking over your body. Won't happen again. I was trying to relay some thoughts, but I
instead just forced myself in.
Roll manipulate someone.
I tend to lose my ability.
I come out a bit strong.
Never mind. I'm just gonna roll. Double sixes. What is happening?
Is it the fourth one tonight?
So you walk up to the coachman and you like get down as though to be knighted and bow your head and apologize. And then you feel the pressure and weight of something on your head.
What the?
And you look up at him under the shade of the brim of a hat. And you look up at the charming coachman and his like collar / scarf thing is still covering up his nose and mouth. But his, what you can now see to be totally bald head is now exposed to the elements because he has taken his cap off and put it on your head.
Oh, cute.
And he just nods at you slowly.
I can't take your hat. I mean, you're the coachman. Like this is your hat.
Are you like taking it off and trying to give it back to him?
I think he just takes it off and he's like looking at it and then looking back at him like.
The coachman is going to put each one of his hands on each one of yours and then press them and the hat into your chest.
And I think Mark looks up at him, nods, and telepathically says, thank you. And then Mark in the back of his head's like, yes, I got a better hat. No.
Wow.
No, I think he's just kind of blown away by that. He's like, wait, what?
Can I ask a question?
Mm-hmm.
When Kira was helping, I believe, Mark with the hallway, and there's that energy discharge, did we on the blood four-wheelers see that or feel that?
Wait, say that again?
When the flare went up?
Yep. Roll read about situation.
8.
Yeah, you saw it.
And you can tell me if you think this is too meta. If Theo can open up her brain to the psychic environment around us. So essentially I want to use the first encounter searcher move that I have, the psychic event.
Okay.
Yeah, so I roll weird. Cool. That's a 5.
Neat.
So on a miss, my brain makes contact with something dangerous.
Wonderful.
If it's there. I know, right? Roll double ones.
Okay. So you're standing in front of this shut off gateway into the hallway. You have gotten all of these worms that were in the ground in there and taken care of. Theo remains concerned about the battle that happened before, so she seems to close her eyes and reach out. And what are you wearing, Theo?
You know what? Theo's wearing black holy jeans. I'm for sure wearing my sister's maroon university sweatshirt, mismatched Converse.
Okay. Through the holes in those jeans, those of you who can see Theo, sort of sunset intense orange light emanate from them. There's something that seems to be sort of peeking out from her collar and some things that seem to be peeking out from her sleeves. And when she at last opens her eyes, this time they are ablaze with the same color as the Reaper's runes. Executive producer Jonny Grubb. This has been The Monsters Playbook, featuring
Detjen-Wander as Mark Clayton.
Lauren Johnson as Anna and Kira Ashwood.
Miah Detjen-Wander as Theo Nessos.
and Jonny Grubb as literally everybody else. Our theme song is by me, Jonny Grubb. The Monsters Playbook is produced and engineered by Miah Detjen-Wander and edited by Miah Detjen-Wander and Lauren Johnson. If you like this episode, please tell a friend. We love friends. You can find the Monsters Playbook on the social network of your choice. We're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Tumblr, and now on Blue Sky. You can also hang out with us on Discord, and if you like what we're doing, please consider supporting us on Patreon. We'll see you next episode where, as always, I'll have some good news and some bad news. Thanks for listening. So, what do you do? I think, Kira, your friends are...
Why don't you finish chewing?
That's okay. I'm good. I can just run again just like that. No problem. There's no problem for me. It's just as easy to...
It will be a problem for you, though, when we have to redo ADR.
And when we get to this part, when Lauren told you to stop chewing.
That's a problem for future Johnny.
We know where you
We
live.
could just leave it in, and then the audience would say, wow, Johnny's being really unreasonable.
We can add some reverb and some delay and stuff.
But the cool thing for me is that I won't have to deal with that until like 2024.